Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lademi. I'm a fashion illustrator and designer, and today I'm going to be doing the most requested Q&A session. If you've had any question regarding fashion illustration and design and like fashion art in general, this is the time that I'm going to be responding to everything. So let's get started. So I'm going to be starting the questions from very basic to more advanced. So if you already know things like the app I use, the iPad I use, and like what software, if you already know all those details, you can just move on to the next chapter. I'm going to be reading off the questions from my phone because obviously I can't have everything in my head. So let's go. So the first question I always get is, what iPad do I use? And today I'm going to be showing you the iPad I use. I use the iPad Pro I think it's the 2018 model. It's the 5th gen. It has a memory of 256 gig, and this is the 12.9 inches. So this is what it looks like, landscape and portraits. I've had this for like 2 or 3 years now. I really cannot remember very clearly. So I don't really have a price for it. It's just best to check with vendors that are around you. So the next question is, what application do I use? So the app that I use is Procreate. And this is not a free app. It is a paid app, but it is a one-time purchase. Once you pay for it, I think it's about 20,000 naira now. Once you pay for it, it is yours for life. All you just have to do when you change your device is that you move your application, what do they do? You kind of like switch to the next device and it will already be there, or you just restore your subscription. Now, the next question is, can Procreate Pocket for iPhone do the same work as Procreate for iPad? So here's the thing. You can actually draw on your iPhone, but you would need an external stylus pen. I have it somewhere around here, but I just cannot find it right now. So iPhone has a Procreate version, but it's called Procreate Pocket. It's the same application. The only difference is that the interface is different. Obviously, you have a smaller screen for your phone, so you will not be able to do a lot of, you have to do a lot of zooming in for you to actually draw properly. But yes, Procreate Pocket is available for iPhone. It is not free as well. I think this one is about 9,000 naira. It's much more cheaper than the one on the iPad, but they basically are the same. You can even use the same brush set. Like if I have a brush on my iPad, I can use that same brush on my iPhone. Do you understand? So they are basically like from the same brand, but just different devices. So another question that I got is, did I purchase additional brushes and textures? So first thing is that a lot of things that I notice beginners do is that they go ahead to download, after downloading Procreate, they go ahead to download another app called Tools for Procreate. But that is not something you should do. Procreate already has very nice brushes. Like the basic default brushes that came with it are very, very good. So you can do a lot with them already. You don't necessarily need to get additional brushes, except you now want to get like beaded brushes, zipper brushes that you can find online. You can check out Gumroad website for brushes. And to answer the question, yes, I do have brushes that I've bought with my own money, and I also have brushes that I've created myself that I actually sell. They are up on Seller if you're interested. The next question is, can I use this app with a smartphone if I don't have a tablet? Yes, you can use your phone. I think I've answered this question multiple times. You can definitely use your phone. It doesn't even have to be an iPhone. You can use your smartphone, but you'll be using a different application, which is Infinite Painter or Autodesk Sketchbook. Now, the next question is, can you get Procreate on Android tab? That is not possible. Procreate is an iOS product, or should I say an iOS software. It does not work on Android. There is no way you can get Procreate on Android. Maybe in the future we are lucky enough to actually get Procreate on Android. But for now, it only works on iOS products. Procreate Pocket for iPhone and Procreate for your iPad. Now we're going to be moving to the learning and skill questions. So the first question I have here, can someone do this without any foreknowledge of art drawing? Yes. Why I said yes is that there is no skill that cannot be learned. Drawing is not something that I wouldn't say it's something that you're born with. At least for me, let me tell from my own perspective, it's not something I was born with. My sketches used to be very, very bad. Like I could not, at the point in my life, I could not draw like a proper body figure. I could not draw anything. I can't even draw a circle, like a proper circle. So it is not something that you know how to do from birth. I mean, some people do have the talent for it naturally, but it is not something that you need to have. It is a skill, but it is a skill that can be learnt through the proper channel. Like if you decide to take classes, this is something that you can learn within like 3 months and you can be like a decent illustrator. Another question is, will you be teaching anytime soon? Guys, I literally teach for a living. Like I am always teaching. Or reach out to me because I'm always teaching. If you're interested in learning fashion illustration or you want to know how to put your ideas to paper, this is the time to reach out to me because I'm actually teaching fashion illustration. We're going to be having a class in January as well. All the details will be shared in time for the class, but right now I am currently closing up on the classes as is like the end of the year. So the next class will probably be in January. Another question that I'm getting is, what screen guard do I use for my iPad? In terms of screen guard, I currently do not have any on right now. I have 0 on right now. I used to use the paper texture one. I don't know if that's what they call it, but it has like a paper feel to it. So when you're drawing, it literally feels like you're using a real pencil to draw. But I took it away because it got old and really scratchy. So if I were to recommend, would I recommend paper light texture? Yes, if you like it. But I've met other illustrators that do not like it. So it's more like a try and error thing. You can just try it for yourself. Now, the next question is, where did you learn fashion illustration from? I don't think this is a question that I've not answered to before, but I'll just answer it again because you guys want to know. But I'm a self-taught fashion illustrator. I learned everything I know today on YouTube and by myself. Like, I literally kept on practicing. I would watch videos from Zoe Young, F Sketcher. Those are the people that I really learned fashion from, like fashion illustration and fashion design. So I would practice myself. I started working even before my sketches were good. So I low-key used my clients to get feedback on how to get better. So that was how I learned fashion illustration. Now we have questions on beginner struggles. This person said, I'm a newbie. Do you advise that I learn until I can create something neat before building my portfolio? Well, I actually think you should be able to draw something neat before you create your portfolio. I know that a lot of advice out there, even I have said it before, that the moment you start learning, it's better to start building your portfolio. But the truth of the matter is, you're building that. Why I said that before was because building that portfolio by then would let you get used to like building portfolios and getting comfortable with what should be on the portfolio and what should not be on the portfolio. But the truth is, if your job is not neat enough and you're sending that as a portfolio to a brand, they probably might not take you seriously. So it's best if your work is already decent. Like, you don't have to be the best illustrator in the world. You know, something good enough that you can still send it out as a portfolio or start working on your own portfolio. Now, the next question is, how exactly can I learn fashion illustration as a beginner? So I think I'll probably make a much more in-depth video on this because there is a lot of steps that can be taken, especially if you're learning like self-taught, if you want to teach yourself. What I would say is that you're going to go online and start making research on like fashion illustration classes. You probably look for the course outline, like look at people that are offering courses, look at their course outline. Then now click on those titles and go on YouTube and search those titles. If you're lucky, you're going to find a video exactly like it. If you're maybe not so lucky, you can still find videos that are similar, but not necessarily what you're looking for. But use that idea. Like, no knowledge is lost. Honestly, I might be doing digital illustration and I still watch manual illustration. I still watch tutorials on manual illustrations because it would help me understand, like, whatever I learned there, I can use those ideas to, like, you know, make them into digital illustrations. Because the people that I actually learned from, Zoe Young and F Sketcher, they are both manual traditional illustrators. They don't do digital illustration, but I use the ideas that I've learned to actually translate and just bring it in. It's just very simple because I think about it like this. Digital illustration is not that much. Digital illustration is not so different from traditional illustration, honestly. I'm just going to do a full on video on this. I don't want to make this too long. I also got questions on sketching that I don't necessarily think that I can answer to like in this manner, especially if I'm just talking and I'm not actually drawing. But I'll try to answer the ones that I can right now. Someone asked, what size of canvas do you use and what size for height? Like basically, the resolution that I do most of the time I do 4,000 by 4,000. Sometimes I do 3,000 by 3,000. I used to do 2048 times 2048. I mostly do squares, but now that Instagram has changed, we're back to like that portrait kind of vibe. I'm trying to switch back into something like that, maybe like 3:4 ratio, maybe 3,000 by 4,000, something like that. Well, yeah, that's just something that it's still a work in progress, but basically that is what I use. One thing that you need to note is that the bigger the canvas size, the better and smoother your illustration would come out. Like you don't want your illustration to end up being pixelated at the end of the day. Especially, but you also don't want it to be too high because especially if you're posting on Instagram reduces quality like a lot. So you don't want to do too much. Most times, if I want to do an Instagram post, I would rather do 2048 by 2048. That's all I can say about that. Now we're going to be moving on to career, client, industry questions. And I think this is the part that a lot of people will be interested in. The first question is, how do I get a job as an illustrator? I think I've made a video about this. You can check out the video. I'll link it somewhere up here. You basically find like you give yourself visibility. You need to let people know that you are doing fashion illustration for you to get fashion illustration job. There's no trick that anybody else is doing out there. I think it's just your work speak for you. If your work, the quality of your work is very good, you're going to start getting clients. So the next question is, how do I approach brand I would like to work with? I really do not have a first-hand experience with this. Yeah. Because I've never really pitched myself to any brand. I mostly get brands reach out to me. But I would say that if you want to approach brands, you do it professionally. Send an email. You can go to their office, take your portfolio, you can print it out. That would even show that you put in extra work to get noticed. You can go to their office. But those things are that sent to you, but if possible, it's something that you can do and just go and pitch yourself to the brand at their physical space. I think that will be all for that question. The next question is, what do fashion houses do with the designs or sketches? What is the value chain? This is a very interesting question. A lot of people don't know what this designer do with the sketches. So there are a few things that these sketches are used for. They are used for pre-production sketches. They are used for post-production sketches, and they're used for maybe campaign, like maybe they want to let people see the behind the scenes, or they could be used for campaigns, just like I've said. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. Let's say I am a fashion designer and you are a client. You come to me and you tell me that you want to make so kind of dress, but you want a different kind of sleeve, you want a different kind of top, you want a different kind of beading, and now everything that you're saying to me, I really cannot picture it properly because you're just saying it. Or you have pictures, but everything is just like scattered and like it does not come together. We don't really know how it's going to come together. Now, to avoid that back and forth between you and I, because once I go and cut your clothes, I've cut it here. There's nothing you can do. So to avoid all those back and forths, I would go to a fashion illustrator. Or you can go to a fashion illustrator. Anybody can hire a fashion illustrator. Then you explain what you want to a fashion illustrator, or you give them the mood board if you want them to also create the design. Oma mentioned it, and I'm going to say it again. A fashion illustrator is not the same as a creative designer. Like, they are two different things. But you can merge them together. You will find a lot of fashion illustrators that actually create designs as well. I don't want to go too deep into it, but yeah. So you go to your illustrator, you tell them exactly what you want. They draw it down for you exactly how it is, beading, details, everything. Now you bring it back to me that I'm the designer that is going to sew it for you. And when I see it, I can already see what we're going to create, and even you have something to hold over me if I end up creating something else for you. So that's one of the ways to use fashion illustration. Then the other way is maybe They've done the dresses. There are times that you find clients that they've already done the dresses, but they just want a sketch of that dress, maybe for print purpose. Then you do it for them. They already send you the picture, and all you just have to do is to just draw exactly what is there for them. In terms of value, a lot of fashion illustrators don't really know how much value their work actually holds, because it took me a very long time to know how much value I was bringing to the table, especially because fashion illustration was not really a very popular job when I first started. You as a fashion illustrator, you are very important because you are bridging the gap between the client and the designer, like the person that is going to actually sew it. You are bridging the gap between them. You are transferring their ideas. You're putting it to paper. They are visualizing it for them, so they don't have to go and cut something and then they now realize that, oh, that is wrong, and they start doing the back and forth, which is going to cost them extra fabrics and all the resources. So the value that you guys hold is actually very, very high. You have to take pride in your work. Fashion illustration is not easy. A lot of people come to me sometimes and they'll be like, oh, Shebi is just to draw. Shebi is just to draw. Or maybe when I want to charge for back view, they tell me that Shebi is just back view. This is not 3D. We are actually drawing it from scratch. This is not 3D. I'm not just going to tell the body figure to just turn around for me and then it's fully beaded at the back as well. So yeah, that is it about the value that fashion illustration brings to fashion designers. Now, the next question is, were you able to become a fashion illustrator without a degree? So I do not have a degree in fashion illustration or fashion design. I actually learned everything online, and with just constant practice and looking at other illustrators that are out there abroad and in Nigeria as well. So I studied chemistry in school. I did not do anything related to arts. Now, the next question is, how do you manage to work with fashion brands despite being a YouTuber? Did you quit freelancing? I don't know why this is a question. Should I be scared to be a YouTuber because I work with other brands? Are you saying this question in terms of, am I showing people's work outside? Because I don't really know how to answer those questions. First of all, I am not a full-time YouTuber. I am a full-time fashion illustrator. Let's get that clear. I am not a full-time YouTuber. As much as I love YouTube, it does not really affect one another. I don't show clients' work most time on my vlogs. I avoid showing clients' work, especially because most of the dresses are not even made yet. So that would be spoiling the entire look before they even bring out before they actually make the dress. Some brands even make me sign an NDA to not show their designs, which is totally fine. But I don't have to upload clients' design on my page. In fact, that's why I barely have anything on my Instagram page. If I eventually post, it's something that maybe I worked on, or the dress has been made and the designer gave me the go-ahead to post it on my page. I'll be giving them credit for their work because it is their design, not mine. And I also do not take credit for designs that I do for other brands most times, except if they choose to give me credit for it as well. So it does not really affect one another. Another good thing about our sketches is that they serve as inspiration for fashion designers as well. So imagine they see one of our sketches and they really like it. They're going to be inspired by it and probably create something with it. Or you can sell your sketches to fashion designers. That is an option as well. Sometimes I sell my sketches to fashion designers, but I prefer not to make sketches down, and I just, work based on when the order come in, so I can really tailor each design to the clients. As much as I love YouTube and I would love for it to be my full-time job one day, if that is possible, fingers crossed, I am not at that point where I can choose YouTube over freelancing. I'm still freelancing 100%. That is what I do fully. I work with different brands and on different projects month to month. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. So we're getting to the interesting part of this video, because I know a lot of you want to know how much we actually make from illustrating. And I do not speak for everyone. And I'm currently not going to give, as much as I want to tell you guys every bit of everything, I still have to keep a part of me. But I'm going to tell you guys how much I used to charge and how much I charged up until this year. So when I first started illustration, I used to charge 5,000 naira per sketch. Even though the sketch would take me about 3-4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours sometimes. Yes. That was because I was very slow and I charged 5,000 naira then. Now I went up after a while to 10,000 naira. And I felt like I was getting bigger and I was getting more clients. I increased to 15,000 naira. And from 15,000 naira, I made the huge jump last year from 15,000 naira to 25,000 naira each. Now, this price is not fixed. I personally have a pricing system whereby the more time I spend on the sketch, the more pricey or more like the higher the price will go, basically. So the base price for any of my sketch right now is 25,000 naira, and it can go as high as 45, 50, 60. I don't know, like depending on how detailed. See, everything, like you have to think about it like this. How long does it actually take you to finish a sketch? And what is that, what is the value for, like, what value are you giving for that sketch? Because if you think about it, bridals should be more expensive than ready to wear. So that is how my pricing system works as well, apart from looking at how long it would take me in terms of like details and all. I hope this answers your question. Like, I know this is the most anticipated part, but it's the shortest part as well. Like, that's how much I charge, guys. I do a lot of work. The only way I'm able to make 7 figures monthly is by doing more work. So the more you do, well, that's the best part about being a freelancer. The more you do, the more you earn. And the less you do, the less you earn. So yeah, that's about that. Now, I have another question. How do you manage to work and be a YouTuber at the same time? Well, if you guys are regulars, you would know that I am not managing anything. I am literally behind on every YouTube schedule. Like, as much as I love YouTube and I want to take it seriously, I have to remember that freelancing is what is really, really paying me like a lot. So I'm going to try my best to like, do better with YouTube, but I don't think I have any right to answer to that question because I am not consistent. I'm not managing it properly. Like, I'm struggling actually. So I don't think I have the answer to that question that is outside of illustration. They said, do you vlog with your phone or camera? I actually used to vlog with my phone, but right now I'm vlogging with my DJI Osmo Pocket 3, even though it's frustrating me. Story for another day, but that's what I used to vlog. Now, the last question is, how can I enroll in your fashion illustration class? Babes, I left my link in the description. Like, just call me or text me. Okay. On a much more serious note, you can send me a DM on Lade Fashion Illustration on Instagram, or you can send me a direct message on WhatsApp. I'm gonna leave the number on the screen so you guys can like text me whenever. Do not call because it's not my calling number. Okay. Just text me on WhatsApp and I will be there to let you know how you can enroll. The requirements for enrollment are the iPad. If you do not have an iPad, you can use your smartphone. That can be an iPad, an iPhone, or an Android phone, but you will need a stylus pen for that. And then you would be ready to pay for your app, like all extra cash so you can pay for your app is like 9,000 naira or 20,000 naira. And I think Infinite Printer is like 3.5 in naira. So you can do that as well. I think that is all you need, basically. That is your requirement. Just have your drawing device and your pen. And every other details will be shared with you after you enroll. Thank you guys so much for listening to me and for asking this question and for subscribing to me as well. If you've not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for because I just give you guys the tea that you might not find anywhere else. So do not forget to like and subscribe. Share with your friends that are interested in fashion illustration. I'll definitely be seeing you guys next week. We're gonna be back with our vlogs and our illustrations. I'm actually considering doing Vlogmas, but I am somebody that is really struggling to commit to one video a week. I don't know if I can now do one video each day, but I'm trying to, like, my brain is low-key wired to do very hard things. So I'm thinking, Olade, you can do it now. You can do it. But I don't know, guys. I probably will let you guys know if it's something I'm going to end up doing. I mean, you're going to see it. I'll just start posting. I'll probably have to do vlogs that are easy or videos that are easy to edit. So I can just drop, and they're going to be like short videos, not as long as this one. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me on this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye.